chomping at the bit just to get another shot at the Red Wings in the playoffs. But it's up to Brett Hull to have them singing the blues on the way back to San Jose. And hey, have you ever wondered whether a penguin walks? Oh, probably not. But these penguins fly, and they hope to fly by Bruins named Oates and Neely as they get ready for their playoff run. In New York, they were wondering if a playoff run would actually happen. But after winning 6 of their last 9, the playoffs are looking mighty fine. Today, they face Eric Lindros and the Philadelphia Flyers, who are back in the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. As for Washington and Florida, well, they're both on the East Coast. But Jim Carrey and the Capitals are getting their playoff plans in order, while the Panthers are about to start writing down what they did for summer vacation. Hey, maybe they'll get some jet skiing lessons from Jimmy Johnson. Right here, right now, on Fox NHL Sunday.
Back to Hollywood, California. Folks, it's the final weekend of the regular season, but there is still an awful lot to be decided as we head towards the Stanley Cup playoffs. And welcome to Fox NHL Sunday. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm James Brown, and we've got some key matchups for you as teams get ready for the Stanley Cup playoff journey. And a guy who will be here with us all the way through the finals, my partner, Dave Maloney. I talked about some key matchups. Which ones do you like?
Well, the key matchup today is the Pittsburgh Penguins at the Boston Garden. And why is that key? Pittsburgh still has an opportunity to get the first overall seed in the Eastern Conference. How important is that? Well, the Rangers took Game 7 in the Eastern Finals last year to beat the Devils at home. It's a big game for them, although, you know, it's been since January of 1993, the Bruins haven't beat the Penguins.
Gosh, can't find a key there, huh? And the Penguins, obviously a very balanced team. Well, a guy who can tell us a little bit about the Western Conference sitting next to you, no radio face there, Mike Modano, star centerman with the Dallas Stars. He's out because of a ruptured tendon in that left ankle. How is it progressing?
Really well. It's coming along really good. I got some time to rest up this summer and get ready for training camp next September.
And I know the folks will be looking forward to you. Well, let's take a look at your visual resume, if you will. Here's a guy who was drafted #1 overall back in 1988 and finished second for Rookie of the Year the following season. He scored 50 goals last year. That's the most ever by a Stars center. And he's led the team in points each of the last 3 seasons and is the only player in team history to be team MVP 3 straight years. Impressive indeed, Dave Malone.
He is impressive. And you talk about team MVP, guy in and out of the lineup the last 3 weeks. Your goaltender, Andy Moog. What's the status and how important is he?
He's kind of day-to-day right now. He's got a nagging hamstring injury, and he's our MVP this year, no doubt about it. He played outstanding, kept us in the hunt, and big game Monday night against San Jose. And if it comes down to that night, I'm sure Bob Gainey's going to go with him, definitely.
Well, I think that's the guy they have to go with. The team that plays very tight to the vest, they've got to have the guy that stops it, and Moog's been the guy in and out of the lineup.
Okay, and we're looking forward to Mike Modano's comments throughout the afternoon. But right now, we're going to take you out east to the spectrum where we have a developing story in our Flyers and Rangers game. And joining us now is Fox's John Davidson. And, JD, the good news for Rangers fans is that a win and they're in, but there is some bad news.
Certainly is, JB. The Rangers will be without their captain, Mark Messier, this afternoon. He stayed in New York, never even joined the team in the trip to Philadelphia. He does have a back problem, muscle spasms. He took muscle relaxers last night, was a little groggy in talking to him this morning. Feels, however, it should be just a one-game miss. With Mark Messier out of the lineup, you miss the player who up front, forward-wise, plays more than any other New York Ranger forward. So he'll certainly be missed. He takes face-offs, he leads them on penalty killing, leads them on the power play, leads them in scoring. It'll be a tough job here to go up against Eric Lindros and the Flyers without Mark Messier.
All right, John, and we certainly look forward to the call by you and Mike Emmerich in just a little bit. And as John did mention, the New York fans are certainly hoping that it is only a one-game miss, because if Messier is out for an extended period of time, that could crush the Rangers' playoff chances. All right, folks, let's get you caught up on the playoff picture beginning in the East. And Dave, Philadelphia has locked up the second seed, but there's still a battle going on for the top spot.
Well, we mentioned it overall. I think there are a couple factors here, JB. The fact is, I think most teams want to crack at Quebec. Very young hockey team in the first round here. So that top end of this situation is not straightened out yet.
All right, as for the last 2 playoff spots, the scenario is simple. We told you a Rangers win and they're in. The same is true for Buffalo.
Well, Buffalo's playing better. They went to a little mini camp last week before they played play the Flyers on the Fox and won a hockey game. But boy, if Messier's not in the lineup, that is a big, big loss for the Blue Shirts.
Okay, moving over to the West. Detroit clinched the President's Cup trophy last night for the best overall record and home ice throughout the playoffs. But check this out, just 3 of 9 President Cup trophy winners have gone on to win the real prize.
Well, the fact, so, JB, going back to 1967 when this league expanded, there's been 27 playoff series. The number 1 overall team has won 15 times, so generally the cream comes to the top. I mentioned it before. I think Detroit's the cream of the crop.
All right, and as for the last 2 slots, if Mike Modano's team wins, Dallas, that is, they're in. But as for the last slot, what a mess there.
Well, it is a mess, and if you look at the thought that home ice is a factor, and we should always play better at home, San Jose looks like they're the hockey team that should sneak in. But the problem with the Sharks is they played below 500 hockey at home this year, much like the Kings. The Kings have struggled at home. So it's not what looks like a factor for San Jose, not wrapped up, but, you know, things being obviously, what the heck, I think San Jose is going to make it.
Now, Dallas has only won 4 of 12 without you in the lineup. Mike, do you think there's enough to get it done there with the Stars?
I think so. I think with Bob Gainey's system, who likes that defensive style, work from our net out, put some frustration into the other team's scoring, and we got some guys who can pot 1 or 2 in here and there and get some good goaltending. We got a good chance.
They're going to need it. All right, folks, we'll come back to Hollywood before sending you out to your game as Fox NHL Sunday continues after this.
Everyone in New York watches Fox.
There's a difference between their idea of 24-hour service and ours.
Geico Auto Insurance, this is Patty.
A Paul.
Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At Geico, it only takes 15 minutes to get a line-by-line comparison on your car insurance, so you'll know exactly what you're spending and what you can cut out. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Announcing Ford's biggest breakthrough minivan offer ever. Up to $1,750 cash back on Windstar and Aerostar. That's right, $1,750 cash back on the front-wheel drive Windstar with the most standard safety features of any minivan. Or $1,750 cash back on the rear-wheel drive Aerostar with the most towing capacity of the leading minivans. Up to $1,750 cash back from the new #1 seller of minivans, your Ford dealers. But hurry, this is a limited time offer. See your Ford dealer today.
They test cars here. They test pickup trucks here. And when they test yard machines, they go here. Dave Spivey's house. MTD tractors, chipper shredders, lawn mowers, and edgers tackle the toughest jobs. Look for MTD yard machines at retailers near you. MTD. Wow! I like it! MTD yard machines, American made, American owned.
Super Bowl rivals Jerry Rice and Junior Seau meet again in a no-holds-barred celebrity competition. Steve Young hosts the Fox All-Star Challenge tonight.
Dodge changed the rules of truck power, the rules of safety, comfort, convenience. And while we were changing those rules, another one changed all by itself. New rule. Dodge pickups now have higher resale than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. Want proof? Check the rule book. The rules have changed. At America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
Dennis, you're just a little bit too tight, man. You need to loosen up, man. Be provocative. Don't be so conservative. Shake things up. Shocking. Let your hair down.
Please, lay out the hair, okay?
Over the top, man. Be an individual.
So what do you want me to do?
Well, you can start by eating your pizza the wrong way. Crust first.
That's weird, man. That's too weird.
Introducing stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. With a ring of cheese baked into a totally new, thinner crust, you'll want to eat it the wrong way. The crust first. Just turn it around.
Well, Dave, you crazy, man. You crazy.
Large, just $9.99.
Coming up during our first intermission, he's been called the best player in the game today by none other than Wayne Gretzky. His name is Sergei Fedorov. While his talent is here for all of us to see, his arrival from the then Soviet Union is a remarkable story. That's during our first intermission. But now let's off to the Miami Arena for today's Capitals-Panthers game. Dick Stockton and Mike Ruzioni have the call.
Peter Bondra of the Washington Capitals is the NHL's hottest goal scorer. He's their big weapon. weapon, a marked man, and everyone knows it, but they can't stop him. Goaltender Jim Carey is the man behind this mask. Carey's also a marked man, but teams can't solve him. The 1-2 punch has led the Caps to the playoffs once again. And welcome to the Miami Arena. We have a sellout today as the Washington Capitals take on the Florida Panthers. Hello again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton along with Mike Eruzione. Well, the Capitals are in the playoffs, but they would still have a shot at home ice advantage if they could finish fourth in the conference.
And that's what they're shooting for. You know, a big advantage if you can play those games at home. And another thing that Jim Schoenfeld talked about with us prior to the game was he wants his team to go into the playoffs feeling good about themselves, feeling on a high. So it's important that they win their remaining games in order to get that positive action going into the playoffs.
And Mike, they have been on a high, having won 4 of their last 5. Meanwhile, the Panthers are in desperate straits. They need to win their remaining 3 games, but they also need a lot of help.
They need a real lot of help. But one thing that will happen is if they lose, they're out. So they control their own destiny as far as their games here. You don't want to have another team make a decision on whether you're in or out if you lose. Win the games you have to win, and then whatever happens is going to happen.
And Jim Carey, the rookie sensation, who is tied for the lead with 4 shutouts and leads the NHL with a 2.14 goals against mark. And in the other net will be John Van Beesbrook. So a fine matchup today of outstanding goaltenders. Ready to go, Mike Eruzione, the Washington Capitals, and the Florida Panthers. Paul Stewart will be our referee. Tim Nowak and Mark Perret will be the linesmen. And the Capitals will start out with their top line of Peter Bondra, who's got 32 goals to lead the league. Michael Pavanka, Dmitry Kristich up front. It'll be Mike Huff, Brian Stuglin, and Scott Melleby, the top checking line for the Panthers in white.
Well, it's going to be an interesting matchup in terms of styles of play. One thing that Washington wants to do, control the tempo, control the pace, be very aggressive, and forecheck, forecheck, forecheck.
Panthers trying to knock it into the zone. Ulanov, who made his debut with the Capitals on Friday against Buffalo, is starting in defense. Pass in front. Huff was there and is knocked away by Bondra. Going down is Ulanov. Mellenby with the check. Here's Jeff Smith. He's in the back line along with George Murphy, the 2 defensemen. Cote can't check Smith, and a stop in front, and it's covered up by Carey. Jim Schoenfeld, coach of the Washington Capitals, wants to get this team in gear for the playoffs.
A great motivator. I'll tell you, a lot of times teams take on the personality of their coach, and the Washington Capitals are that type of a team. Look how calm and collected he is. I'm telling you, inside, he is just boiling. He's the kind of guy that gets excited when his team's playing. He gets into the game, and his team, as I said, is an indication of the way he is as a player and the way he plays.
Capitals lead the season series 2-1. The home team has won each game. Last time they played, Jim Carey shut out the Panthers 3-0. And the face-off to the right of Jim Carey. New line on for both teams. Cote out to center ice. Knocks it into the zone. Miller chasing it along with Hunter. Good checking line out there now for the Capitals. Here's Magnus Svensson. Knocked away by Poulin. Only one real scoring chance thus far in the opening minutes.
I talked about the style of the 2 teams. Let's go to Florida in terms of their style. They're a team that creates offense off their team defense. They're a team that plays that trap. They rely on their goaltending. Van Beesbrook is an excellent goaltender. And this man right here, Roger Nielsen, has his team playing that slow-down defensive style, and that's how they create their offense.
But Mike, his team is desperate. They know they need to win, so if they find themselves trailing, he may have to go away from his style a bit late in the game.
Well, that's one thing he talked about before the game is, you know, one thing they want, the important thing with this hockey team is to get that lead. When they have a lead, they're very, very difficult, especially at home. And one of the keys to their team is when they get the lead, their team defense and that trapping style is so good. But if they get behind, they have to open up, and that's when the game falls into Washington's hands.
But they'll never open up that much to really change their style. That's not what Roger Nielsen's all about, and the puck unable to be cleared and falling on it. John Van Beesbrook, he is the key to the Panthers. They have not been effective scoring. In fact, they have only 1 goal in their last 2 games. Prior to that, they had 9 goals in their 2 victories, so Van Beesbrook has to come up big today.
And you look at John's numbers. I'm telling you, he is the key to the franchise as far as making them a team that competes game in and game out. It's a 2-year team, and because of him, they've made him become established immediately. He is the key to this team. He makes things happen for him.
Laws chasing the puck behind the net for the Panthers. Gets it out to Niedermeyer. Here comes a 4-on-2 foray. Woolley, the defenseman, off to the left, and it's knocked back by Ken Clee. Checking the Capitals, trying to set the tone here and get the pressure. Here is Jones behind the net. Loose puck. Trying to center in front of is Joey Junot, and it comes out to the neutral zone. Dumped in by Jim Johnson. Woolley behind the net for the Panthers. Off the boards, and icing will be called. No score, 17-23 remaining in the first period.
Dick, another thing that we talk about with Washington, we mentioned how important it was that they forecheck, but equally important is the fact that they be very physical. And there is one of the more physical players, and you're probably not going to believe me when I tell you he's 5'9", 170 pounds, Kevin Kaminsky, but he is one of the tougher players that this Washington Capital team has. And players hate to play against Kaminsky. He's constantly in your face. He works real hard, and they want to be physical.
There are the standings right now. Montreal 2 points behind the Rangers, and the Florida Panthers are 4 points behind the Rangers. They had a great opportunity on Friday night. They lost to New Jersey when both the Buffalo Sabres and the Rangers were suffering defeats. No score. Ulanov, who came over from Winnipeg along with Mike Eagles, playing only his 2nd game in uniform for the Capitals. Eagles also on the ice as well. Mellanby ridden off that time. Cleared around the boards out to Kalle Johansson. Svensson to the neutral zone. Here is Mike Huff. Huff around the boards. Joe Ricci, the defenseman, knocks it down. Jeff Smith keeps it into the zone. Ricci out to Cote. Babaka and Kristich along with Peter Bondra on the ice right now for the Capitals. Chasing it inside is Fitzgerald, but Cote beats him to the puck. Nearly 4 minutes gone by. Defensive struggles these teams have played, and that's the name of their games this year, although the Capitals with Bondra have a big offensive powerhouse out there. Kristich. Here's Bondra. Around the boards, Van Beesbrook clears it himself. Kristich, hard check against Lindsay.
One thing Washington does not want to do is set up behind their net. And we've seen it happen a couple of times already. The reason they don't want to set up behind the net is if you stop, then now Florida has a chance to set up that trap that they do so well. So look for Washington not to stop behind the net, but to try to keep the puck moving.
They want to set the tone and up-tempo the pace here. And you're right, not let the Panthers establish that neutral zone trap that they're known for. Fighting loose puck behind, cleared out to Lindsay. Lindsay now onto the stick of Hull. Jody Hull stands on it. Taken by Miller. Here is Miller trying to stay with it, but it's poke checked away. Capitals have not had a real scoring opportunity as of yet. Neither team has, for that matter. Losing the puck, Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer with Clee defending, and the shot off of the stick of Carey and cleared to the neutral zone. Panthers showing aggressiveness, something they lacked against New Jersey Friday night at the Meadowlands. Grudlin tries to intercept the pass, fighting with Juno. And the Capitals set up again. No score, first period. Here is Keith Jones on the right wing, coming on in. Pass inside, and it's knocked away. Walchuk had a shot, didn't go much, and here is Huff. Out to Mellanby. recent acquisition, firing around the board. Konowalchuk skating up ice, leaves it for Kalle Johansson. Fires it, and the save made. Good shot that time by Johansson.
And a nice save by John Van Beesbroek. That was through a partial screen. Nice job by Van Beesbroek picking up that puck.
Johansson fighting with Huff on the near boards. Berube and Aikens go at it. This is a physical game to start this first period. Desperation for the Florida Panthers. They need to win this and the next two against the Rangers and the Penguins, and then they need help on top of that. Fitzgerald looking to pass to Barnes. Can't reach it. Here's Huff. Mike Huff with a soft shot on goal. Nearly 7 minutes elapsed in this first period.
We're 7 minutes into the game, and we've only had maybe 2 whistles so far. These teams are just going back and forth.
Barnes tries the pass, trying to get it over to Strudlin. Behind the net. Out front, here is Kristich controlling. Kristich with one man to beat Woolley, and a stick save that time by Van Beesbroek. Here's Barnes, and he goes down hard. Checked by Kaminsky that time. Here come the Capitals. Pivonka behind to Cote. Cote shot on goal wide. Here's a shot from the point. It's blocked. Cole has it for the Panthers. Behind the net. Out front. And here is Jim Johnson. Knocks it into the Panther zone. Laws now controlling. Niedermeyer is checked hard that time by Ken Cleave. Smith with a shot. Oh, in front of Carey. Could have been a close call for the Capitals there. Wide open end-to-end action here in this first period. Capitals have already clinched their 13th straight playoff berth. That's the 5th longest string going in the NHL. Panthers in their second year trying to get into the playoffs, and it's going to be a long haul uphill climb for them. It has been a long time, you're right, Mike, since we've had a whistle. Here is Belanger, couldn't get the shot off. He was checked from behind by Miller. Miller dumps it into the zone. Poulin goes down. No whistle.
Well, one thing about Paul Stewart, the official, he lets the players play, and he's been doing that so far. There's been a couple of situations where you think maybe penalties are called, but he's letting them go and letting them play the game.
Jones keeps it into the Panther zone and knocked right back out by Jeff Smith. Ulanov. Now Niedermeyer for the Panthers. And he is tied up by Konowalchuk. Fans want a penalty, none coming. Here is Konowalchuk feeding on the left wing, Junot. And we're going to have a penalty now, our first of the game, with 10:50 remaining in the first period. No score between the Panthers and the Caps.
It's as far as Michelin science has ever gone. Our biggest breakthrough since we invented the radial. Technology that brings us to a new level of performance, in good weather and bad. In the rain, in the snow. Technology so advanced, it even saves gas. The new energy tires with Radial XSE technology from Michelin. It's science that goes beyond magic.
Keith Jones goes to the penalty box for 2 minutes for interference at 9:10 of this first period, and is the first penalty of the game.
Well, here's the one that he lets go. That's a clear hole on Konowalchuk. Okay, he's going to let him play, and he lets that one go. Now watch right there the interference on Van Beesbroek, and Van Beesbroek came right down on top of him with a stick. But you're not going to let 2 in a row go, and Konowalchuk got away with one, but Jones to cut. Power play for Florida.
Capitals are 22%. So let's see, we have Barnes on the power play, along with Niedermeyer. And with the puck now is Gaetan Boucher. That's Gord Murphy around Woolley, trying to keep it on. Connor Walchuk, Cote, penalty killers out there, along with Joe Riki. Panthers are 2 for 20 on the power play against Washington this year.
Well, one thing you got to be careful of with Washington, they're the 4th highest penalty team in the league, but they're 2nd in shorthanded goals with 12, so they're very dangerous killing penalties. One of the reasons being is they have great speed, and they have great speed on defense, and their defensemen are very quick. They see the ice real well, and they're able to jumpstart them even in shorthanded situations.
Peter Bondra has 5 of those shorthanded goals. He is not on the ice right now. Panthers have had problems with the power play.
You see a guy like Dave Poulin who's out there killing the penalties. One of the reasons they're very good killing penalties is experience. Dave Poulin, one of the more experienced players in the league.
There is Belanger skating in, being watched by Kalle Johansson. Back behind the net is Poulin. Checked by Garpenlov out to Smith behind the net. Out at the point, Magnus Svensson keeping it in. Johansson trying to get the puck away. Physical team that the Capitals have out there, including Mike Eagles. Here's Jim Johnson going around the boards, and it goes to center ice. 6 seconds remaining on the penalty to Keith Jones. And coming in for one last foray is Mellanby, and poke check nicely by Johnson. And they're going to have another penalty.
It looked it, and Paul Stewart did not call it. As I said, he's been known to let him play.
But there'll be no penalty. Crowd thought so, and the Capitals arguing.
Hey, you're new. What'd you get a penalty for? You high-stick someone?
Was it tripping, fighting, slashing? No. Eat my Pizza Hut pizza. Crust first.
Man, you're weird.
Get away from me.
Hold on, man. Give it a shot. I'm telling you.
Cheese in the crust. Stuff's incredible.
It's about change. About breaking rules. And making new rules. About building machines more in harmony with humanity. It's about questioning everything. It's about change. The new Dodge.
No score. The Capitals killing off the penalty, and the Panthers had the possession in the Cap zone for only 15 seconds in that 2-minute penalty. And Peter Bondra on the ice right now for the Caps.
Well, Washington, as we mentioned, a very good penalty-killing team, and really had control of the puck, and didn't give Florida any chance to set up. They kept the puck wide, which is what you want to do in a power play.
Grudlin chasing it, and Carey will knock it away. Here is Gord Murphy. Jeff Smith. 2 defensemen out there for the Panthers. Lee and Johnson are the 2 defensemen in the back line for the Capitals, with their top line of Bobonka. And going down, and a penalty is called. Another one on the Capitals as Mike Huff was tripped up. So again, the Florida Panthers will get another chance in 2 minutes. Penalty will be called. And another power play opportunity.
It's coming. To take cold. To take taste. To take smooth. To the extreme. Introducing Bud Ice. Now brewed to go beyond the others. To be an easier drinking ice. Take smooth to the extreme. Bud Ice.
There's a rumor. One of the big houses just entered the bidding against us for Marcus Belfry's next book.
Alan's with him now. Let's email him.
Done.
No, let's fax her.
Done.
You better page her.
Done. How about carrier pigeons?
Message MCI. Email, fax, or page anywhere with a click of a mouse. To install the 21st century in your office today, call 1-800-888-8100.
Tonight, Clark visits the ER.
You're alive.
No thanks to you, Homer.
Are you little?
On a brand new Simpsons tonight on Fox.
Ken Klee, who started the year with the Caps, played 8 games, was sent down and recalled March 30th from Portland, and the American League goes off for holding at 11:46. Another power play opportunity for Florida.
And they better do a better job in this one than the last time. Last time they had no scoring opportunities and no chances to even shoot the puck on the first power play.
Grulin, Hull, and Huff in there now. And big crowd in front of the net as Murphy fired in, and we'll have another face-off.
That's a nice play by Gord Murphy trying to get that shot on Jim Carey. He's got Scrudlin in front for a screen. Murphy does a nice job of just sending it on net, but Carey does a nice job of making the save and then clearing the rebound off to the corner. One of the good things about, look at that record.
3-10-4 when they called him up.
It's just amazing. Not only has he been a big plus with this hockey team, but he sends a great message to his players, to his teammates. He's playing well, they play well.
He wants to play. He started 21 games in a row before he finally came out. So let's see what the Panthers do with the advantage. And it's Cote who gets the loose puck, and it's knocked away by Konowalchuk with less than a minute and a half remaining in the power play. Panthers lost the only face-off on the first power play, and they let the Caps take control. Miller out there in the penalty killing. Here's Hull. Centers a pass, knocked away, trying to get it to Scrudlin in the crease. Scrudlin behind and Huff. Now Hull, and we have a whistle.
Well, that's a bad penalty on Brian Scrudlin. First of all, you never want to take a penalty when your team's on a power play, especially a penalty of retaliation like that one. Scrudlin got hit from behind, and then he turned around and just chopped the defenseman with his stick. Good call by Stewart. Not a good penalty for Brian Scrudlin.
Slashing penalty.
They say that man cannot live on bread alone. Fortunately, at Discover Card, we couldn't agree more. That's why we offer the Cashback Bonus Award. Each year, you'll receive money back based on your annual level of purchases. The more you use your card, the more you'll get back. And with over $500 million given out already, you're sure to get your fill. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back. Accepted where you see the Novus sign.
Brian Scrudlin goes off for slashing, and as you pointed out, Mike, inopportune penalty here when the Panthers seem to have the Capitals on their heels.
Especially, again, those are things that drive coaches crazy. When you have a power play, you got a chance, you put some pressure on Washington, finally a couple of good chances, and then to take a penalty right on top to make it a 4-on-4. Not a good situation.
Each team with 4 skaters right now. 42 seconds remaining in the penalty to flee, and then the Capitals will have their first advantage of the day. There's a shot from the point by Woolley. Behind the net. Johnson clearing. Tom Johnson dumps it behind the net. To Cote. Stu Barnes. Only 15 seconds left in the Washington penalty to flee. Here's Woolley with a slap shot. And a save that time by Carey. Right on. Here is Bondra. The pass just beyond him. And he and Smith fighting behind the net. Lee's penalty's over. 47 seconds for a Capital power play.
What was nice about that save by Carey was his defenseman cleared the Panther players right away. The rebound came out, but there was nobody there to pick it up. Good job by the Capitals on defense.
Caps have the power play now with 35 seconds remaining with Pavonka, Kristin, along with Peter Bondra out there. Kalle Johansson, he's a big part of that power play with his one-timer. That's what they'd like to set up for him at the point. And there is Johansson blocked by Huff. Bondra controlling. 10 seconds on the power play for the Capitals. Bondra gets it out to Johansson. His shot high over the net. Kristich, penalty is over, and the teams are at full strength. Capitals still controlling. Kristich gets it in, and it's knocked away and cleared. Into the Washington zone, Ulanov with the puck. No score. We're winding down to 5 minutes remaining in the first period. And we'll have an offside penalty. Right now, let's go to James Brown in our Hollywood studios for an injury update. JB?
All right, Dick, Flyers fans with the real scare. Top right of your screen, Eric Lindros with a slap shot. It ricochets off of Jeff Bukaboom back just under the right eye of Eric Lindros. He goes down. Folks, keep in mind, that slap shot can travel up to 100 miles an hour from the point. Eric Lindros taken to an area hospital for precautionary x-rays. We'll keep you updated. Right now, Rangers lead it 1-0. Take it back to Dick Stockton, Mike Ruzioni.
So Lindros goes down, and Mark Messier, of course, injured. He's not playing for the Rangers today.
And the Rangers with that one-goal lead, and a big key to that Philadelphia team, obviously, is Eric Lindros. So a big break for the Rangers in terms of with their big star gone. Now Philadelphia's equal star gone.
They can clinch a playoff berth with a win today and make the whole issue moot, and we'll have another penalty. And Paul Laws may be going to the penalty box. We'll be back. Still no score.
During the Dodge National Best Buy sale, we've made Dodge Intrepid an even better buy thanks to Intrepid's biggest incentives ever. Like up to $1,897 off, including up to $1,500 cash towards your down payment. Or select 4.9 financing instead of cash savings. So buy now, and Dodge Intrepid, the car that changed everything, can substantially change your bottom line. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
You really want a cellular phone, but you're afraid of the service plans, activations, the true cost. So you go back and forth again. Don't do that. Come into Radio Shack. We'll patiently explain everything you need to know about going cellular. Then we can even sign you up. You'll see that not only are cellular phones nothing to be afraid of, they're actually quite friendly. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
The Critic previews the newest Star Trek adventure,
Hee-Haw, the next generation.
on a brand new episode after The Simpsons tonight.
Well, if you have the kids, bring them to the game, and if you have twins, bring them both.
Just bring enough babysitters.
No penalty on that last whistle, so the teams are still at full strength with 4:45 remaining in the first period. Dick Stockton, Mike Ruzioni here at the Miami Arena. Sellout crowd on the final home game of the year for the Florida Panthers. Their final game will be Tuesday against the New York Rangers. And they also go on the road to play the Panthers. But the Rangers can wrap up the playoff berth with a win, and they lead Philadelphia.
And, you know, one thing that the Florida Panthers don't want to do is be looking at the scoreboard and worrying about what's going on outside. And I'm sure that's one thing Roger Nielsen stressed to his team, because they do flash up scores here and there throughout the course of the game. They have to worry and control their own destiny.
Roger Nielsen, 39% in the final stretch drive of the last several years for him. Here is Miller. Now to Hunter, and offsides the call. The fewest shots this year for the Panthers in one period was 3 against Hartford in Ottawa in February. And right now, the Panthers have managed only one shot on net against Carey in this game.
Well, one thing that happened to them was when they had that power play, they had a couple of chances themselves. They seemed like they were starting to get a little offense generated, and then Skrudland took the penalty right away and took them kind of out of that. But it's a team that does not generate a lot of offense. We talked about that. Their offense is created by their defense, so they try to capitalize on a big save by Van Beesbrook, get the puck, move it, and have a chance that way. They're not going to generate a lot of scoring opportunities.
Miller, Hunter, and Poulin, the line out there for the Capitals right now. Trying to keep the puck in the Florida zone. It goes out now to Bill Lindsay, having a career year. Lindsay looking to pass. It is tied up by Jim Johnson. Loose puck right around his skate, taken by Miller and Poulin. Puck behind now to Miller. Kelly Miller, former Ranger. Pass in front of the net to Poulin. Couldn't get the shot off. Still no score. Keeping it in is Ulanov for the Capitals. Lindsay trying to get it to Barnes, but the Capitals control, and it's Kalle Johansson off the stick that time. of Berube. 3.5 minutes to go. Here's Eagles with a shot. And the whistle. Mike Eagles, who has come on and played well since his acquisition from Winnipeg at the trading deadline. No score with 3:29 remaining in the first period.
In the middle of my workday, I like to do power lunches. I do power lifts. And when you work out this hard, better use a deodorant that works hard too and never quits. That's why I use Speed Stick. It gives me 110% protection that lasts all day. And fortunately, all night. Because while I may not have time for lunches, I always manage to find some time for dinner.
Speed Stick, like you, it never quits.
5 minutes.
And there goes Kevin Kaminsky, who's down, got a stick in the face apparently, and shaken up. He's a tough one.
Well, he's the kind of player that always finds the action. We talked about him, how he's always physical. He gets involved in the play. Watch the stick just kind of come up right there. Catch him. Boy, I'm surprised that that was not seen by one of the officials. Here's another look at it. This should be a 5-minute penalty, even though it was accidental. Watch it right here. Scrudland's stick right there. And I'm not sure if referee Paul Stewart saw that or one of the linesmen saw that. Look at Jim Schoenfeld. Interesting talking to Shawnee before the game, talking about his hockey team and how he wants them to continue to get better and better and better so that when that last game at the end of the season is played, his team is playing their best hockey.
Kevin Kaminsky is up now. You can see the towel around the cut on his face, and we'll take a break.
Getting bored with just plain nuts? Try Fisher Favorites Tropical Fruit and Nut Mix, a more exciting flavor combination.
Pineapple, papaya, sweet cream almonds, honey roast peanuts, and whole cashews.
Crunchy nuts with juicy real fruit. Fisher Favorites Tropical Fruit and Nut Mix. Just one of the Fisher Favorites.
It's Fisher flavor, or it's just plain nuts.
And they have called the penalty, apparently, and double minor, I guess, to Brian Scrudland is the call. So Scrudland going off for the second time in this game, and so that'll be 4 minutes for the Capitals on the power play, and Scrudland appealing to Paul Stewart.
Well, it was clear that it was a penalty as far as an infraction of the rules. Even if it's an accident, they will call that high sticking penalty. I'm not sure why it wasn't 5 and why it's 4. Either way, it's going to be a power play for 4 minutes.
Bill Lindsay's going off for the high sticking, so it must have been a play other than the one we saw with Scrudland, who hit him in the face.
Yeah.
But I think Scrudland is the one who hit Kaminsky in the face, and Lindsay wasn't around the play. In fact, it was Jason Woolley was the only other Panther around that play.
I can't,
Scrudland was asking for the explanations. Brian Height skating far away because he's the one who should be in the penalty box, but there's Lindsay.
That's right, and I guess if you're a Florida player and you have a choice of somebody taking the penalty, not that Lindsay is not a good player, but Brian Scrudland's a pretty good defensive player, an excellent forechecker, and a real good penalty killer. So make that swap the right way. If you're going to get a penalty and you're going to mess one guy, don't miss it with Scrudland.
Well, they got a great penalty killer in Scrudland, so he's out there now on the face-off.
Last time Washington was on the power play, they had it set up on the right side. If they're on the right side, that's very difficult to get Johansson a shot so he can one-time it. Look for them to try to set up on the other side with Joey Juneau so that they can have a one-timer shot from Johansson.
Chris Fitz, Pavanka, and Peter Bondra. The top scoring line on there now for the Capitals with 3:07 to go. And 3.5 minutes more. There's Juneau with a shot wide. And there is Kalle Johansson. Juneau and Johansson. There comes Juneau skating in, fires. It's blocked. Juneau still controls. Goes behind the net. Bondra. Johansson, known for that one-timer. Bondra takes the shot into the corner now to Pavanka. Johansson quickly around to Juneau. Here is Pavanka. The shot is blocked in front nicely by Jeff Smith.
What a nice play by Jeff Smith. Bondra had a clear shot to the net. Smith went down, blocked it, very nice, then cleared the rebound.
Capitals will have the power play some 30 seconds into the second period as well. Here is Miller skating up now. Hunter. Jones behind, and a one-timer by Cote, and a fine save by Van Beesbrook on a hard shot at the point.
Nice save by Van Beesbrook, not only because he made the save, and I've talked about this before, is he leaves the rebound there, but gets to it right away, covers it up, and now his defensemen clear people away. Here's another look at it. You're going to see the shot. The pass comes back to Cote. Cote with a nice shot, but see, Van Beesbrook sees it. Nobody's in front of him. Everybody's cleared out. The rebound, he covers it up. Nice job. Good job by his defense. Another look at it. Watch the pass come back to the point. The one-timer.
Johnson with a shot, pad save off to the right. That's where they miss Mark Tenorti because he's a big force in front of that net on the power play for the Capitals. Tenorti out with a sprained knee, 4 to 6 weeks. A big presence in front. Quick shot by Jones on the short side. Saved by Van Beesbrook. 2:25 left in the double minor to Lindsay of the Panthers. Capitals trying to take advantage in a scoreless game. 1:45 remaining in the first period. Cote hard off the glass behind. Hunter is kept in by Johnson. Shot, and covering up is Van Beesbrook on Johnson's shot. He had some players in front and was screened on that one.
Well, if I'm going to be Washington, I'm going to try to get somebody in front of the net to screen Van Beesbrook. That particular time, it seemed like he got there just a little late, Dick. You want somebody there set up right away. You mentioned Tenorti. He's so good at doing that. They have to find another man. If you're going to shoot the puck from the point, you have to have a man in front to screen. Watch this. You want to be a goaltender? Ooh. Stu, you got to jump. It didn't hit him, but you see the reaction from him was, hey, boys, get that shot down a little. I mentioned Paul Stewart lets the players play, but he's constantly talking to the players during the game. Hey, get out of my way. Move to your left, move to your right. Hey, how you doing? What have you been up to lately?
He obviously skipped rope during the spare time to get up that high. Capitals have already had 4 shots on goal on this power play. Gord Murphy around, and Hull clears it to the neutral zone. No score. We have had several power play opportunities for both sides to no avail. Here's Bondra going after the loose puck down, and Pavanka behind the net. To Barnes, knocks it away nicely into the neutral zone. 1 minute remaining in the first period. Kristich, he could be the man that had served the role that Tenorti had off to the side of the net. Here is Huff. Panthers doing a good job of killing this penalty. But here's Bondra with that great speed. Let's see what he does. Bondra going around and tied up nicely by Gord Murphy that time. Out to Kalle Johansson. Pavanka gets past Bondra on the pan. Here is Juneau, and the one-timer by Johansson. Not a good shot that time, and whistle blows with 28 2/10.
To soothe athlete's foot, Desinex does it. But to cure athlete's foot, Desinex does it. Only Desinex has UDA to both soothe the discomfort and kill the fungus. To soothe and cure, Desinex does it all.
Here's Peter Bondra, third in power play goals with 12. He has 21 goals in the last 19 games and will go to the bench for the final 28 seconds. Tremendous speed, and he gets that shot off so quickly.
He's a lot like Pavel Bure, where whenever he has the puck, you kind of lean forward a little on the edge of your seat because you think something exciting is going to happen. He's fun to watch play.
He's an electric performer out there for the Capitals. Final 20 seconds of this first period, no score. And 51 seconds left in the double minor to Bill Lindsay.
You're watching Washington on the power play. When they set up on the right side, Joey Juneau stays way over on the other side. It's almost as if there's 4 men on one side, and he says, I'll just be out here and try to pick up something loose. When they set up to the right side, you're not going to get a one-timer out of Johansson, as I mentioned. But you watch Juneau, he goes way off and drifts over to the other side.
Hunter and Skrudland on the face-off to the left of Van Beesbrook. Loose in front of the net. And taken by Joni Hull, and he'll clear it. Final seconds. So at least going into the final half minute or so of this double minor, the Panthers have done the job. Capitals have controlled the puck, however. There's a shot by Eagles off to the right of Van Beesbrook. Going down hard is Melange as the buzzer sounds, and that'll be the end of the first period. Still 30 seconds left on the penalty to Lindsay. The Capitals have lost 4 of 5 faceoffs on their power play today. And no score.